Okay, welcome. Welcome, classroom. This is ASMR classroom. I probably should have worded that differently. But today we're going to be learning about how to have a snatched waist. Yeah, you heard it right, people. You're going to learn about how to have a snatched waist. Obviously, any teacher has to have certifications to do any type of classroom work to teach people. So now I'm going to show you guys my certification. Okay, wait. See that? All right, so I do in fact have a snatched waist. So I'm a great teacher for this, okay? Um, in all seriousness, I've been working out for like 10 years now. And throughout it all, I've learned a lot. I've learned a ton. And I think what's the point of knowledge if you're not going to share it, right? So we're going to learn about how to have a snatched waist. I'm going to grab my notes and we're going to get started. Okay. A phrase that a lot of you have probably heard of is called maintenance, calorie surplus, and calorie deficit. So for this exercise, we're going to use a very easy number. We're going to use 2,000 calories. Everyone's maintenance level of calories is going to be different. If you're a bigger person, your calorie limit is going to be higher for maintenance. If you're a smaller person, your calorie maintenance is going to be lower, right? So if you're like 5'1" and you're very skinny, your calorie maintenance level may be like 1,700 calories. But if you're a really big guy who's like 200 pounds, your calorie maintenance may be like 2,500, right? So calorie surplus and calorie deficit is pretty simple. I drew like the most basic infographic for this. I don't really need this to be shown, but here it says maintenance. We have surplus with an up arrow and deficit with a down arrow. So a surplus is when you are eating more than your maintenance level calories. So if my maintenance was 2,000 and every day I ate 2,200 calories, that would be a surplus. Eating in a surplus every day means that I would gain weight. If my maintenance level was 2,000 calories and every day I ate 1,800 calories, I would be in a deficit. That would mean that I would lose weight. Surplus, you're going to gain weight. Deficit, you're going to lose weight. Okay. And obviously, like we just talked about, if you do significantly move up in weight or down in weight, this number will change. I think that's something that gets people. You often hear people talk about a plateau where they're losing all this weight, and then all of a sudden it feels like their progress stopped. It's probably because their maintenance went down with their weight going down. So they have to go down even more in calories to stay in a deficit, right? So I'm sure you're probably wondering, like, how in the world do you know what your calorie surplus or deficit is? Let me flip through this. It's in my notes. If you go to this website, calculator.net, and in the top there should be a calorie section. So just type in calorie on calorie.net, or even if you typed in calorie calculator, it would probably come up, calculator.net. And what that'll do is you put in your weight, you put in your age and your gender, and it will give you like a general estimate. It's not perfect, but it's a great place to start. It'll give you a general estimate of what your maintenance level is. And I think that's the best place to start, to be honest. So that's a great place to start your journey and track your calories. I hear a lot of people talk about, I don't want to count calories. That seems horrible. That seems like fitness is taking over my life. None of that is true, okay? I've been doing this for a long time, okay? Here's the thing that I think people get wrong about calorie counting. Once you've find out how many calories are in a cup of chicken, how many times do you need to remeasure that cup of chicken to know that it's X amount of calories, right? It's only annoying at the beginning as you kind of learn how much calories the things that you're eating are. And I think through this process, you're probably going to even see that a lot of the things that you are eating are like way more calories than you thought, or some things are going to be way less calories than you thought, right? So that's like a really, like, I still count my calories, but I don't measure things anymore because I know that a cup of X is Y amount of calories. I know that a cup of Z is A amount of calories. And once you measure things enough, you're fine. You don't have to measure forever. You're not measuring every single meal. There are even amazing apps where you can scan labels into the app and it will tell you, oh, it's this many calories, or you can put in estimates of how much you're eating and it'll tell you, right? So calorie counting really isn't that bad. It sucks at first when you're getting used to it. But once you understand, and most food, if you're like me and you eat a lot of processed food, calories are on the back of everything. A bag of chips, something from the freezer section, candy, like it's on ice cream, calories on everything. So it really makes the process not that difficult if you just pay attention to those little dumb labels that we usually ignore, right? Next, we're going to talk about something that I think a lot of people get confused on or they misinterpret. So when people are counting calories, they think about it as, oh, if my goal is to lose weight and my calorie amount is 2,000 calories. Well, man, I ate 2,500 today. That means I failed. I'm a loser. I got to give up. No, you don't have to give up. Okay. It's okay. People think about calorie counting or weight loss as like life. Like once you're dead, you're gone. That's not how it works. It's a lot more like a paycheck that I show in this diagram. This is let me do it this way. I'm kind of running out of sunlight, so I need to hurry up. Paycheck. There you go. Paycheck. Okay. It's more like a paycheck, right? So I wish my camera would. Please, I beg of you. Please. You get the point. It's like a paycheck, okay? So you get a Monday through Friday. All of your work is totaled up at the end of the week. And then you get your paycheck. So we're going to use simple numbers because I'm kind of dumb. So let's say that, obviously this would never, if you ate this many calories, you die. But let's say that your calorie maintenance was 100, right? It was 100 calories for the day. So you eat 100 calories on Monday. You eat 100, we'll say 30 calories on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, you successfully are in a deficit. So you eat 80 calories. And then you're able to eat 80 calories for the rest of the week, right? You've kind of found your stride. Man, I still can't do this math. Wait a second. I still can't do this math. I'm going to use my phone calculator. Don't make fun of me, guys, please. I know I'm a teacher, but math isn't the subject we're learning today, okay? 100 times 5. So if you ate your maintenance for the entire week, you would end at 500 calories, right? That's your maintenance level. That's your weekly maintenance. But if you ate 100 on Monday, you ate slightly more on Tuesday, so 130, but then you successfully ate under in a calorie deficit for the rest of the week, you're now at 470 calories, okay? So yeah, you had one day that was kind of rough where you were in a surplus, but you kept on it, you stayed strong, and you finished out the week strong, and you still ended up in a calorie deficit for the full week, which means that you are still technically in a weight loss zone, right? So, I hate seeing that when people have like a bad week or a bad day and they just kind of like give up. But don't, you can still make up for it for the rest of the week, right? Obviously, we're using really small numbers, but that's just for the sake of calculations. Obviously, so let's say you're at 2,000 calories and that's your maintenance. And then Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, you do really well and you eat 1,700. Yeah, even if you on Friday, you have like a little extra ice cream and you ate 2,500 calories, like you're still in total going to be in a weight loss zone for the end of the week. And this scales, right? This can go all the way up to like a month. So you eat in a calorie deficit for majority of the month. Even if you just have a few days of being in a calorie surplus, like it'll still even out to being in a negative deficit, right? So yeah, just don't treat it as if like you mess up one time or you have too much ice cream one day, you're ruined. The thing that will mess you up is I don't believe in cheat days. I don't like cheat days because let's go back to our little thing that I don't know why I can't speak right now. Let's go back to our little thing right now. So let's say your maintenance is 100. Let's say you eat 80 calories for all of the week except for Friday. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to have a cheat day. And then you eat 200 calories. Okay, you eat 200 calories. Okay, let's do the math for that. Because you're like, oh, I'm on a cheat day. Like I can eat whatever I want today. Like I earn this. The end of the week, you're going to be at 520 calories. You're in a surplus for the end of the week. So if you do that every week, you're going to be in like a 500 calorie surplus by the end of the month, right? So cheat days, I'm not a fan of. I'm a fan of eat it when you feel it, okay? To a certain extent, right? So eat it when you feel it is, let's say that one day you're like, man, I could really use like some candy. Like I really want some candy. Go get some candy. Maybe eat slightly less for the rest of the day. If you're going to eat a full cup of chicken for dinner, eat like 3/4 of a cup of chicken for dinner to kind of make up for some of those calories that you ate extra, right? Like make up for it in other places instead of doing cheat days. Because if your cheat day is crazy enough, like you just pretty much undo all the work that you did for the entire week. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. I made this video on a whim and I made this diagram literally like a few seconds before this video. So I don't know how good it is, but you guys let me know what you think. We're still not done yet. We got one more section. Our last section is working out. Now, some of you may be wondering, well, why is working out at the end? I thought working out was super, super important. Working out is important and it can be a great tool. However, it's not the full picture. The way that you look in your waist, specifically for our snatched waist class, is going to be like 75% what you do in the kitchen. Okay, what you're eating, your habits, things like that. And that's going to be like a really big part of it. And then working out is only like 25%. Because working out is going to be what changes your body composition. It's going to be things that help with your heart health, your cardio, your metabolism. Like that's where working out really comes in. And the thing that's hard about working out is that it's something that you don't see most of the benefits of until like you've been working out for quite a while. The working out definitely helps. Like if let's say that you are a person who you just really struggle to burn or to stay in a deficit. Like you're always like 100 or 200 calories over. Well, you add in working out, you go for a run, you go for a walk even, you go lift some weights. Like that might be just enough to offset that calorie surplus and put you back down into a deficit, right? So working out is an amazing tool. It's amazing for your health generally. So working out is just great. There are plenty of YouTubers on, YouTube. We're on YouTube right now. I don't know why I said that, but there are plenty of YouTubers who make workout content where they teach about form. The biggest thing that I would say is don't worry too much about weight. Worry about doing things correctly because that's when you're going to get the biggest benefit, right? To your body, to everything, right? So focus just on having correct form. The weight will come naturally, right? I know there are a lot of ladies out there who, I hear there's a common myth that ladies will say, oh, I don't want to lift weights because I don't want to get bulky. I have a great thing for that. Let me re-grab some old notes. Okay. So remember the calorie sheet. Remember 2,000 calories surplus deficit. For you to gain muscle, that is weight. For you to gain weight, you have to be in a surplus. So if you are working out, you're a girly trying to get snatched for the summer, and you're in a calorie deficit, you're not going to get super bulky and big because you're not supplying your body with enough calories to build a significant amount of muscle. Does that make sense? Like muscle is weight. And where is that weight going to come from if you're in a deficit? Like, yes, if you are working out, you are definitely going to get more like toned, like your arms are going to get more toned and things like that in your legs and, you know, all that jazz, but you're not going to gain a significant, because that's what the word bulky represents. You're not going to gain a significant amount of muscle when you're in a calorie deficit. It's just impossible. That's not how our bodies work. So for, you know, don't work out your full body. Okay. Work out your full body. As long as you're in maintenance or you're in a deficit, you're not going to randomly blow up like a balloon. Men have like 20 times the testosterone of a woman, and a lot of us struggle to get bulky. So you don't have to worry about that. Work out your full body. Keep everything even. It will be much better for your health, and it'll be much better for your overall look, right? Working out, I could do like a full video on just working out because there's so much more, like there's so much to it. So I'm not going to say too much. I'm just going to say focus on form. Don't worry about weights too much. Like use weights, but don't worry about crazy heavy weights, right? Last thing I want to say, and I kind of skipped over this on accident, but it'll be quick. When it comes to fitness and the eating part, like there are great alternatives out there. Okay. There are great alternatives. I will give you the perfect example. Okay. Let's go about it like this. Let's see how many calories are in a Snickers bar. We all love Snickers, you know, well, some of us love Snickers. I don't really like caramel, but Snickers are okay. So there is 250 to 280 calories in a Snickers bar. Okay. So you say, man, I would love a Snickers. Man, there's a lot of calories. There are amazing alternatives. And when I say alternatives, I'm not just talking about like healthy stuff. Okay. Because watch this. How many calories are in a Snickers ice cream bar? Ranges from 170 to 200 calories. So yes, you heard that correct. If you go get a normal sized Snickers ice cream bar, not the mega one, but a normal sized original Snickers ice cream bar, that's about the same size as the candy, you drop all the way down to like 170 calories. Versus if you get the normal Snickers bar, you're at around 230 to 250. Okay, think about that. So just by switching from the candy version of something to the ice cream version, you're dropping like 40, 50 calories, like a little bit more actually. So like when you're looking into fitness and you're looking into calories and looking at healthy alternatives, it doesn't have to be boring. You can still find fun things that are good, just things that are just less calories, right? And I also think even a lot of the healthier alternatives, things have gotten a lot better. Like back in the day, I remember when I first started getting into fitness, there weren't really tasty alternatives. It was just like cardboard. But nowadays, things are much better. The only thing I would be careful of is sugar. Something might be really low calories, but if it has like a ton of sugar, you know, I don't want you guys getting diabetes, man. So just watch out for sugar. That's like a very sneaky thing that they put in stuff. So watch out for that. But yeah, like there are great alternatives. There are things that you can just switch over to. Also eating things that are more filling. Eating things that are more filling. Eat things with higher protein. Like get some protein powders and start knocking down some protein shakes, like one a day. You don't got to go crazy, but because protein, like biologically, keeps you full longer, right? Like a lot of oats, like oatmeal, like a lot of meats, a lot of protein. Those things will keep you full longer. Like if you eat like a bag of chips, which it's okay to eat chips sometimes, but if all you ate was a bag of chips, one, you're going to be hungry in like 5 minutes because it's not filling. It doesn't have any protein, doesn't have much to fill you up. Two, it's like, it's going to be just like fat. Like, again, no protein, nothing really substantial, right? So if you find something that can be like a good alternative, for example, popcorn. Popcorn is much lower in calories than chips, like by a significant amount. So if you want something to snack on, switch over to popcorn, and you can find the ones that have like the cheese dust on them or flavors or all that. Again, be careful of ones that like are like caramelized and coated in like sugar and stuff like that. But like just normal popcorn, like most of the time is kind of low in calories compared to chips. So it's all about alternatives. It's all about like having fun with it. Don't stress. You have a bad day or two, like you can make it up. You have a bad week, you always got the next week, right? This fitness and health is a long-term journey, right? So don't treat it like a race, treat it like a marathon. But that is all I got for you guys today. Thank you for coming to how to get a snatched waist class. I appreciate you all coming in. I don't know what made me decide to randomly make this, but I may possibly do more classroom videos where I like teach about stuff and do research on them beforehand. It seems kind of fun. I don't know. Again, what's the point of knowledge if you can't share it? So, see ya. This is you to say somewhere. I missed the button.